Yo, what's up? This is Shadow Rockin' Profo Won of the Florida Gangs and Knuckle Neck Tribe, and you're watching The Trades, episode 15, the show about breaking hip-hop and the business of. Yo, I just went through the same damn thing I did a few weeks ago, where the sound cut off. You know me, maybe I should pick a different time. Let me know down if you think 5 o'clock Pacific Standard is not good enough because the traffic's too high. But at least we're recording now and you can hear me. Give shouts out again to Richie Rosen. And this time we're coming from Profo Won's professional page instead of just my main channel. So I'm sure people might be commenting on the other page, but hey, you know what? I gotta get the analytics. Gotta see what my reach is, and I see more people coming in, so that's how I know it's working. All right. So yeah, and I took a break. I took a week break, but what you can check out down below on this page is the reaction commentary from the Undisputed 2017 with Thesis and B-Boy Issei. So you can check that out on YouTube as well. So without further ado, I'm going to give the main event, the main show. We got the Knuckle Neck Tribe right here on the Trades studio. We got Mikey Disko and G.Boogz. G.Boogz. Here we go again. The world is yours. You already know what's up. Dang. We just went through it. Basically, we just went through it. There you go. Thanks, P. Alright. So,
lower the mob music.
Lower the mob music. Since there's a Bay Area theme with the Knuckle Neck Tribe, I'm like, yo, might as well have some mob music. What we listen to?
Young Selsky, that's some Frisco shit.
Shout out to my Lakeview.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We only lower down the music when we're trying to parallel park though. So.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. All right. So, I missed that when I went to the bathroom. I missed the whole thing of like, should we just go straight to like, you don't want to talk.
I answered everything. Time has passed.
We're gonna keep going though with it. All right, so actually we're gonna start out with Boogz because like he had a good story. We had this show earlier at 5 and we went 40. It was a good show. Now we gotta do it all over again. But, fuck it. This is what we gotta do when you want to be live. When you want to be live and direct.
You know what? Let's do this. You know what I mean? Those people who don't know who G.Boogz is.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Before he just starts talking. You know, Boogz is one of the OGs of our crew, Knuckle Neck Tribe. Him, P-Kid, you know, Aquan Preacher, Gizmo. You know, there's a lot of, you know, original Knuckle Neck. Yeah, the original Knuckle Neck Tribe members. And Boogz is the one who's still active and is still, you know, who still works with us. And, you know, Boogz is, you know, also recognized as the guy behind the curtain.
Yes. With
a lot of things, hip-hop, rap, fashion, things that happen in the Bay. I'm not going to let, you know, he likes to keep things on the low, but he's, you know, one of the key players in the Bay. Right. And always has been since, you know, since the 80s and 90s and whatnot. But he was a guy that we all used to look up to. Right. So, you know, and he's, you know, someone that most people don't really get to pick his brain. So I'm glad to have him on your show. Yes,
sir. So, Boogz, go ahead. Tell us how it is. Tell us how you got into this thing.
Maybe you should ask him a question.
Well, you know, no. I'm just saying, well, like, when we did it earlier, you're talking about, there was a lot of, like, mobile DJ groups. And I didn't know this. I didn't know that there was mobile DJ groups in the late 70s as well. Yeah. So that's where you were first experienced, like, I guess, the culture.
Yeah, the question you asked me was, when did I first experience hip-hop?
Yeah.
And I said I couldn't really answer that because I experienced it in flashes.
Right.
But if you want to ask, like, when did I first probably know? I was a kid, so I didn't really know what I was doing. So this is the late 70s, early 80s. You might be like 79.
Yeah.
You know, I had a young aunt, and they used to play Fatback Band in the garage and in the, you know what I mean, in the living room and make me and my cousin P-Kid laugh at each other.
Shout out to P-Kid.
You know, shout out to P-Kid out there.
Yeah.
Vanilla.
Picasso.
That was probably the first times that I would experience that because, you know, there was no breaking back then.
Right.
Out this way, I'm speaking for Bay Area wise at least.
Right.
And that's why I said we had the mobile DJs and gangs heavy.
Yeah.
So yeah.
They were into strutting.
Yeah, they were strutting, which is like what we would know, the umbrella term is popping.
I had a young aunt, she's a famous writer. Her name is Tess Uriza Holt. She wrote When Elephants Dance. So that's the young aunt that I'm talking about. She wrote a couple of, best-selling novels. Right. But she used to bring me everywhere she went. And I was like, 6, 5, 7, 8 years old. Yeah. So, I got exposed to the scenes early. And
this is what I didn't ask earlier, but so were you like even at that age? How old were you at that time when you battled P-Kid? How old were you?
I might have been like 5 years old, man.
5 years old?
Yeah.
What year was it when you first saw people doing like footwork and backspins and stuff like that? And when the music actually changed from like that funk to like I guess electro was like really big.
I don't know exactly, but I would say maybe 84 the earliest for me. It was late out here. Yeah. Breaking. I was a kid, so this is coming from my perspective. Right. After B Street came out is when the breaking got more heavy.
Yeah.
That's kind of late too.
Yeah. Were you already writing? Were you writing a little bit? Just
graffiti.
Graffiti. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even when you're young, you just tag it up around around the hood and stuff like that.
And to give reference to who we're talking about, P-Kid is one of the Picasso, one of the original Knuckle Neck members. He was also one of the guys, who kind of embodied like the whole Frisco style of breaking. Very hip hop. He's an MC now. Sure. So he was a guy who influenced a lot of the b-boys who ended up like blowing up from the Bay. You know what I mean? Right. From the Renegades to the Rock Forces on. P-Kid was one of the guys who, from Knuckle Neck West Coast Rock City, that kind of like was the guy that a lot of people looked up to. That's his cousin. It was between him and Boogz, where they were the guys that kind of influenced, me and Ron.
Yeah, for sure.
Government names.
Yeah, we were part of this group called Mystic SL, Mystic Strutting and Locking, and one of the Tumacay brothers, Paul Tumacay, was in that group. So this is way before breaking came in, when it was only strutting and locking, Shields and Arnell and the Campbell lockers on, Soul Train type stuff. I used to come out of a suitcase and then hit the puppet.
Oh, that was before El Nino.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was that? So that was like 78, 79?
I would say that's like early 80s.
Came out of a briefcase.
80, 81, 2 maybe even. I don't know.
He was all business.
Yeah.
All business. All business.
Feel like that. Me and P-Kid used to hit them routines like, This is when I used to play Trans Europe Express on 45 or 78.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
that's crazy.
That's that strut.
You know what I mean? And till I go to the next question, if you guys have any questions, I know this is new for you guys because it's in the new channel. I'm rebroadcasting it through my regular channel, but go ahead, if you can't ask a question, go ahead and subscribe and like. That way you can ask a question. So Profo Won's professional page right here. So off to the next question. So what year was it when the transition? Because at this point, we're talking about 85, 86, 87. You're starting to get older. You can go out and stuff like that, and it started to change from breaking to kind of the social dance aspect, the WAP, right? Would you say breaking and the WAP was at the same time, or was it kind of a little bit after breaking, where people were kind of messing with it a little bit?
Breaking was done already when the WAP came out. That's the missing era I was telling you about. When the WAP and all that was out, there was also I wouldn't say high energy. We called it la-la music.
Oh, what they call freestyle music.
Freestyle music. And it was only in the Bronx and out here.
Miami.
All the artists came from the Bronx.
No, okay, that's real. That's real.
About Lisa, Jaya, Trenier. It's weird because we had that connection, the Bay and the Bronx.
No, because there was only Puerto Ricans that loved TKA.
Filipinos here.
Johnny O.
Puerto Ricans of the West Coast.
No, but they had Stevie B in Florida though. They love freestyle in Florida too.
But I'm talking about the scene and the people that was making that music. It was weird because it was here, and there.
What you call it? La La music?
Yeah.
I've never heard of La La. What do we call it? High energy?
We call it
la 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 la.
We call it.
It was dope though.
It was that bottom back beat with like a love ballad, right?
Yeah.
Like a love ballad.
And I'm not speaking for everybody, but Mad B-Boys was digging that shit.
Yeah.
Dude, straight up.
Legs love that shit too. I seen him out there.
Yeah. No. And it's like even the B-boys in Florida right now, they're like, oh, we used to dance to all Stevie B, like at the roller rinks and stuff like that. That's like their connection, is that electro
Stevie B
connection.
had lockers in this video when he first came out. He had lockers in this video, so yeah.
So were y'all loving Stevie B when it came out? Like, were y'all all into that?
Yeah.
So, okay.
I think Stevie B, I'm not sure, don't quote me on this, but my folks, Fred Lau and them, Quick Style Lockers might have been his dancers for a hot minute.
And the thing is, were you guys doing all the like the WAP stuff to the Stevie B, right? Like the Running Man type stuff, or nah, that came a little bit after?
I think it was there, but we weren't rocking that though. We weren't rocking to that,
Yeah. And were you guys kind of like so I guess how was that mix up? Was it like a different scene when all the la people in the hip hop, or was it all in the same type of scene, or you know what I mean? Like,
I think that was a whole nother scene in its own. There was a hip hop scene, but it wasn't really too much hip hop, like, because it was KSOL-ish.
Right.
It was like soul. There wasn't really a lot of hip hop stuff going on that I knew like that. I'm speaking for myself, my perspective.
So by the WAP, and then let's go to the Cabbage Patch to the Roger Rabbit Running Man. Like, was that the music? What was the music at the time for you dancing to that? It wasn't the la music, right? It wasn't the freestyle. Or...
So what music was going on?
Yeah,
then?
for you to start
like
doing
what
those
year
things.
were you talking about?
Well, you tell me what year that was.
Like I'm trying to get like what you mean specifically.
Like I'm saying, like, you know, as far as like when it became like the party dances, like the straight up party dances. Like maybe it wasn't the music, maybe it's just the moves that you were doing to like whatever music, being freestyle or hip hop. What year was that? Was like when you saw straight up breaking died, and it was like the fashion was from that b-boy fashion to like, you know.
And we're talking about Hammer era.
Yeah,
the Hammer era came in 85, 86 pretty much that I remember. And then b-boying was already kind of out the way already, 84, 85 out here in the Bay. I'm not speaking for anywhere else. But we still had the swag real tough, you know. We had the starters, we had the Lee jeans with the Tigra shirts, you know what I mean? We were rocking that real tough still. Gazelles, all that. Schoolboy glasses, with the lenses popped out.
There you go, yeah. Actually, Wiggles talked about that on the show. Right? He talked about that fashion.
He was rocking it out here,
Yeah, but you were but instead of breaking, you were doing like the Running Man.
Well, see, the elders, I was a young kid, like I said, so to me, the Running Man and all that was fresh.
Right.
I'm like, oh, shit, this is dope. I'm keeping up with the times, you know, like I was saying. And the elders were like, yo, that shit, yo, you need to rock like this and up rock, you know. But I was like, yeah, I love that shit too, but I'm going with the times too. So, I was digging all that stuff. Like I said, when I watched Big Daddy Kane, I was a dancer. So I was looking behind Big Daddy Kane, like, who is that? Oh, that's Scoop and Scrap. I was like, when I seen Def Jeff, I was like,
shout out to Scheme
that,
Team,
man.
Yeah.
Oh, that's Soul Brothers, right? Like
That's
Special
Soul
Ed
Brothers.
dancers, right?
Yeah.
Special Ed, who was that? In the background, you know, prancing them, right?
Yeah. There you go.
Misfits, Mop Top. Shout out to Fendi. Shout out to IBM.
Like they had
New
New
York
York
guys.
had Latin quarters and all that, where all the dancing was, and back in the days, Uptown, just like the Bronx, you know, we had War Memorial.
There you go.
A lot of battles and shit happened out that way.
Yeah.
You know, shout out to all the breakers and all the crews back then too.
It's still going on. DJ Delrock still throws events out there at War Memorial.
That's a historic place for hip hop.
Yeah.
There's big similarities, you know, with the Bay and New York. You know, we got the boroughs. We got all types of shit that's similar. Like Oakland is Brooklyn. You go and come over the bridge. You got Manhattan, that's Frisco. Fillmore is Harlem. They call themselves Harlem.
Right. That's funny because I just, Crazy Legs was on Sway's show, and he was like, Sway was talking about the Bay, and he was like, yeah, we didn't have Puerto Ricans in the Bay. He's like, but then Legs was, we had Filipinos though.
Let me break it down for
Filipinos though.
Because Davey D, I love Davey D for that. Davey D is a real New York cat, and when he came out here, you know, we got Pacific Islanders out here. You know what I mean? We got Samoans, Tongans. You know what I mean? We got Guam, Filipinos. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And out there, you got Caribbean. You got Haitians. You know what I mean? So we don't get the Caribbeans. You got the Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, Haitians, Jamaicans. You know what I mean? So when you come out here, it's different. So he said in one of these articles he wrote that you know, the Filipinos out here is like the Puerto Ricans of the West Coast. You know what I mean? So we were the ones breaking. We were the ones doing the graffitis, and my Latin brothers too.
Hell
but you
yeah.
know, Filipinos, we Spanish too. So
yeah. I had
some history.
I had a post and then the legs like I think Wiggles is like, oh, it's the Asian Latino. It's like, well, that's what a Filipino is. It's basically Asian Latino. Now earlier on the show,
What's up?
You had a question. And this was linked to my question, which was how did you see the link? Like, how did it become the party dancing and the New Jack Swing hip hop, like, you know, social dancing, then starting to throw.
Well, let me jump in, like, you know, because to cover what we were talking about before, because you guys missed it.
Because now we have people watching.
Okay, so
now we have people watching.
So we were talking about the late '80s era. If you think about it, you know, we talk about MC Hammer, right?
Yeah.
And his whole record label, Busted. You know, all the artists on that label. Look, think about how many dances, you know, Hammer had on his label. I mean, in all his shows, he had like 100 dancers behind him. They're all doing like, you know, what you would call, you know, hip hop party dances, but they were, you know, they were flipping it. You know, doing more James. He was trying to be like James Brown. He was trying to be like a James Brown.
Everybody
type
tried
thing.
to act
so
like
a lot of
Hammer
people
was
dance. You know,
wrong.
that was you know, that's how a lot of people were dancing in the bass. So you know, like we can't say that like it was all on the East Coast because like there's already hundreds of people doing it here in the Bay Area, and that's, you know, that's some Oakland shit. And
Hammer wasn't no clown too. Hammer was a real G.
And it's also connected to the Strutters era, like Pop Tart, you know, who, you know, considered OG Strutter from Demons of Mind. Shout out to Pop Tart from the Fillmore. You know, he was, you know, choreographing for Oaktown 357, who was, you know, one of Hammer's subgroups, and he used to battle a lot of Hammer's dancers. So we had like a thriving. We had you know, in the 80s when we were talking about like, you know, the B-boy Frisco B-boy era. We had strutting in the 70s and into the 80s, and then there's the Frisco B-boy era, the Master City, the Star City, Breakers, Star City, you know, Master City. I just said that. And then like, you know, in the later 80s with the, I don't want to say New Jack Swing era, it's more than say hip hop party dance era. Just say we had Hammer. Yeah. So I guess the question, you know, I had is when, you know, like when, you know, we started in, you know, 91, but we were looking up to Knuckle Neck Tribe, who was already, you know, integrating like hip hop freestyle and mixing it with breaking. Yeah. And my question was, you know, why, you know, like, you know, because before that there was just like, it was just like Knuckle Neck, and then boom, like within a month or two, like hundreds of, you know, groups
hundreds.
You know what I mean? Hundreds. Like I said, I was saying earlier, it was like the summer before my freshman year of high school. And by the time my first day of high school came, which was in 91, there was already a bunch of groups, and they were all like, had crazy names, dressed crazy, and they were all like influenced by these guys. And, you know, like, so what was, you know, like, I guess, you know, the reasoning of like, you know, like melting all those styles and the purpose of your dress and all that.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a long one.
Okay, then
we go.
Never mind then.
We go.
Never mind.
Go.
During the hammer time, like, all those dancers were raw, like, and we as b-boys, we still had our own swag, and we still had that battle mentality. So we would go to the clubs and all that stuff, like Townsend Thursday nights.
Townsend,
and house music only too.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Stuff like that, or Night Break. Shout out to My Motion and them Pirate DJs, DJ.
Wait, that was on Hate
Street, yeah.
Damn.
But that's earlier, like in the 90s, like early 90s. But like we just had that battle in us, and we was trying to hang with the Hammer stuff and learn all the new shit, like I was saying. But there was a lot of cats out there that was raw. But when we started to lose, we would be like, hold on, I'm gonna hit a swipe into a drill and then freeze on him and then see what happens after that. I'm gonna get up and hit a running man and then whatever. We was just taking fools out like that. Yeah. They could do the dopest shit ever. We would come similar to that, and then like hit a Thomas flare to a backspin and freeze, and then come back up. And we were like, oh wow. So we started just doing that all the time, and then we wouldn't up rock or nothing. We was trying to figure ways how would we incorporate it to flow smoothly from uppers to lowers. Like we used to call it uppers.
Right.
You know?
Ups, tops.
Uppers are messed up terminology.
Hence came the MMA of dancing.
Yeah. See, so that's the thing. Like Knuckle Neck already carried like what people were trying to do
like when
now.
Bruce Lee had on the MMA gloves in 1974.
Yeah, but
just
before
by a gun.
He been had UFC. Well, he was doing UFC way back when.
Nah, but that's the thing. Like you guys were doing like the Knuckle Neck image was kind of like what kids are trying to do what they call all styles now. It's like, and actually, B-Boy Remind gives a lot of props to Knuckle Neck because he was like,
man, he raw as hell.
He was saying
he
the way he
just looks like KNT.
Yeah, no, yeah, exactly. Raw. Like I didn't get Remind for a while. I was like, why is he dressed like that? And he told me like, yo, I'm trying to be like y'all. Y'all were the Housers. I'm trying to be a Houser.
So again, to clarify the terminology Houser.
Yeah.
You know, in the early 90s, 91, 92, 93, anyone who was dancing was called a Houser. If you were breaking, you were a Houser. And it wasn't, no relation to house music.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
None.
And it was, it was, there's a few theories of where the word Houser comes from. You know, one of them is that everyone wore baggy shit and looked like they're all comfortable, like they're in the house.
Plus, there was heavy gang influence all the time through every era. There was always heavy gang influence, so they kind of wanted to determine, yo, you a thug, you a rider, you a tagger, or you're a Houser.
Okay. Right. And the other thing is,
let me just let him go.
Slang for house, like to house someone is slang for serving somebody. I'm eating you up, I'm serving you, I own you, you're in my house. Housing. So housing meant like anytime you were dancing in a cypher, we called it housing. Right. So you could be breaking, you're a Houser. So, and there are a lot of groups that had even implemented the name housing in it, and they weren't really even doing housing in the house. Yeah. Again, shout out to Housing Authority, which is another group that from the Bay that we looked up to doing hip hop freestyle. You know what I mean? Like shout out to Talladega Brothers, Rich and Tone, Super Dave.
That's a big name.
Teddy. So that's that's another.
That's crazy because they're all from the Bay too. Like if you don't know, like Rich and Tone. They just choreographed the Get Down.
They choreographed everything.
So much, like they're like one of the main Hollywood choreographers out there in the industry for sure. On the West Coast anyway, for sure.
And they will outdrink anybody.
Damn, like
Henny,
that.
Patron.
And the thing is,
put their stuff out there like that.
Yeah, the Usos. You know what I'm saying?
But yeah, I mean that's a lot of people that have made a big impact in the in the dance scene have come from the Bay. You know what I mean? But I guess one thing we were talking about earlier is the difference between this era right now and the era. What's going on in this current generation and the way we were in the early '90s is that hip hop was all encompassing. It had we didn't go to b-boy jams or whatnot. That's why you would be able to mix styles because a cipher you can throw out any style. Right. And not only in dance, like you had like all types of like you would have the DJ battles at the dance at the same event that the dancing was going on. And a lot of times you heard about certain MCs is because they would be MCing at those parties. They were just parties. It wasn't.
But people didn't know.
So now a lot of the genres are separated, but a lot of prominent MCs, prominent DJs, that have come from the Bay. We were all peers at one point. And actually, which brings us to kind of like the whole, the connection between like Q-Gert and Invisible Scratch Pickles and Knuckle Neck Tribe. If you think about in the early '90s, a lot of the groups had these wacky ass names. And we've listed a whole bunch of them, but people talk about have asked me, what does that mean? What does Knuckle Neck mean? What does Invisible Scratch Pickles mean? Yeah. But a lot of people were trying to be like Knuckle Neck. We would call ourselves the Animal Quackers. You know what I mean? So
1991, caused hysteria back then.
Because
back then, hammer dancers and all that, you wanted to be fly. That was when silk shirts and valleys was in, or the paisleys. You know what I mean? You had to be fly and rock the high top fade or whatever. You know what I mean? The curls,
the Gumby too.
So what brought about the name Knuckle Neck?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We were just jokers, man. So there was this show called Battle of the Rappers on KMEL.
It's an MC battle.
Shout out to B-Boy Wicked, who was a champion. You probably don't want to admit that. So we used to get on there and we used to just cap. Right. Yo, I want to vote for MC Knuckle Neck. And just hang up. So it was like a joke. We were just joking. Nothing was serious. We just kept playing around too much. And then one day we had a show that we were going to do. It was at the Galleria. Uncle Al was throwing it. I forgot the name of the show, but that was like the first show that KNT ever did. Was at the Galleria. And we came out and we said, what should we call ourselves? And we were like, the Knuckle Necks.
Damn.
So it was just all jokers.
That's crazy.
And that's what we looked like too, Crazy Joe. But it was a show where FM20 was performing, and that's the original group for the Shadow, which became the Scratch Pickles. But the original Shadow was just Mixmaster Mike, DJ Qbert, and DJ Apollo.
Yep. Apollo was the drums.
The 3 turntables.
Yeah.
You know.
And that was like Nim.
Right.
And H2O.
We're gonna get Apollo to break.
Yeah. Yo, he was a Westmore champion.
Yep.
DJ Apollo's still raw. Yeah.
Westmore champion.
We're gonna get Qbert used to strut, so Qbert we're gonna get you to strut.
Then we're gonna have Shortcut do a backspin.
Yeah. What up, Shortcut? Yo, another thing. Yo, a little tidbit about Shortcut. Shortcut was the DJ for Concrete Rockers. Shout out to the Concrete Rockers. PJ, I told you I'd give you a shout out. And
yo, shout out to all the crews out there, the oddballs.
Concrete Rockers was this crew, a b-boy crew from Daly City. They ended up becoming Daly City Breakers, but before that, Concrete Rockers was a group called Tasmanian Nitro Tribe.
Yep.
What was the second group? It was Tasmanian Nitro Tribe and something else, and they became Concrete Rockers. But think about it, Tasmanian Nitro Tribe. That's another one of those goofy ass names.
Just to put it out there, see, Daly City Breakers was 3 crews. It was
PRT.
It was PRT.
Yeah.
Mega Movement and Concrete.
That's crazy.
So
That's way
PRT was short for Prototype, and before that, Prototype was called Stank Winos and
Ragamuppets from Jefferson High School.
And then they combined to become the Stank Muppets and the Raga Winos.
Give a shout out to Marlino. Now he's a DJ out there in San Diego on the radio. Give it out to DJ Marlino.
Shout out to Lenny.
Ryan.
Right, yo, Ryan Morales. Joe Verray.
That was my neighbor.
Yo, I tagged Joe Verray on the flyer for this shit. I'm like, we're gonna so people know what's up with G.Boogz, man.
Yeah.
If you don't know,
and Joe go way back. We used to flood people's houses with water hoses.
Yeah.
Yo, he had that. He danced with Butch
for us. Ooh, funny story about that. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Nah, and then they had the strutting routine, and they did it to la music or freestyle music.
That's the missing era we gotta.
A funny thing about strutting, the word strutting, because when I remember 91 and 92.
Yeah, we call it strutting.
Anything popping was like, we call it strutting.
Yeah,
and then later on,
strutting.
We heard from the LA guys, it was like, no, it's called popping. I'm like, oh, okay, so I guess we just corrected it, but. We were calling it strutting the whole time, but and then those movements we would see already in routines in the 90s, and they were doing it to, like high energy. And shit
high energy of freestyle. You Florida people, all you New York people will call it freestyle. TKA, Johnny O. We talked about earlier, and like I said,
Lisa Trenier.
There you go. He said Trenier.
Yeah.
None of y'all know about that. That's the trade.
So the Bay and the Bronx had that scene, and it was weird because the artists came from the Bronx or the Bay.
Right. Jocelyn Enriquez, who was a Buffy.
Jaya.
I think what you call it? What's it? Ak used to date Buffy. I remember.
Really?
Yeah.
Shout out to Ak.
This is my girl, Buffy.
You give him a reason. Give me a reason.
All right, for all you young people out there,
come back to you.
If you gotta look up freestyle, it's basically electro beats with a love ballad. That's usually what freestyle was.
With Planet Rock in the back somehow.
Exactly, with African Mabana in the back.
Yep.
It got real quiet.
B-Boy was digging that.
It got real quiet.
Okay.
So
we're still Zulu though.
Yeah. You know what's dope? Okay, so this is the thing I noticed about the show. Every time there's people not asking questions, they're actually paying attention, because I checked just now. There's we got people from, I think, Malaysia sharing this right now and going live.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What's up, Malaysia? Is my boy Reborn watching? What up, Malaysia?
We gotta talk about how the crazy names came, right?
Oh yeah,
so the crazy name, we went with the crazy name, and then we took a 360, like I was saying.
That wasn't actually a group that he was in, 360.
Everybody was trying to be on that fly shit with the hammer shit, or the paisley and the valleys with the silk shirts, and we just came and just rocked it goodwill.
Damn.
I'm talking about old cardigan sweaters, don't fit you. Corduroys ripped, you know what I mean?
So let me get this straight. So as you
looking like bums.
Yeah, okay. So as you guys would say, you're trying to troll all the fly people with the name, with the fashion. You're trolling all those guys. I'm gonna do fuck that. Exactly. We're gonna look something different.
Because you know why? This is from me being a b-boy. A lot of these cats used to kick us out of the clubs and be like, "Yo, that shit is whack." and blah blah blah. You know, they was all with that other stuff.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And these are the same people today that's like super hip hop now.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yo, speaking of those crazy names, like we
were rebelling. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, fuck
yeah,
that. We're gonna come like
yeah.
this. We're gonna come in the club and
we were talking about the list that I've compiled, of like, like right on this list that I have, on this list. Oh, sorry, Ben.
So yeah, he's gonna talk about the list. But
yeah, I mean, like I have 63 crews.
63. Okay.
With wacky names.
Along with the wacky names, like crews used to do certain things. Like we used to have like these beanies that we were known for. That they were so baggy you couldn't see our eyes. Like. We looked like the dude Rudy and Mushmouth from Fat Albert. And like crews like the Oddballs, they looked like little kids. They had pacifiers all the time. That's how you know that they was oddballs. Yeah. Like, what would you guys say?
I mean, like we talk,
they used to carry the boobala.
Yo, shout out to Fred.
They used to wear the boobalas on their neck.
Shout out to Fred Briones.
Yep.
Hey Ralph, you gotta Ralph.
Yeah, man.
Someone's got to tell me the story about like that one where whose dad was it who asked you what is a boobala?
Boobala.
What does that mean? Boobala. So yeah, let's just go through some of these dorky ass names. I mean, the thing is they have like these goofy ass names, but a lot of these guys are thuggy as fuck.
Yeah.
Remember your weird boy, the Samoan dudes, Housers and Harmony. They're like these huge ass Samoan dudes. Housing in Harmony. I'm like, they're thuggy as fuck, man.
Posse, man. Mooch, JT.
We mentioned Jughead Tribe out of San Jose. I got Psycho Bunnies, Psycho Smurfs, Maniac Muskrats, Bullwinkle.
Union City.
Yeah, you see.
Bullwinkle's Union City. Psycho Smurfs was
Psycho Smurfs was South
City.
South San Francisco.
And then what was the other one? Psycho
Bunnies.
No, Psycho Bunnies was South City. We said Maniac Muskrats. They were the younger Psycho Bunnies.
Psycho Smurfs is
Bullwinkle.
from
We said Bullwinkle.
Alameda, right?
What?
Psycho Smurfs is Alameda?
Psycho Smurfs is Alameda.
Okay,
there you go.
That's the connection with Rock On Productions. Gyro, giving a shout out to
Gyro, who's actually original 80s B-boy TDK.
Yeah.
One of the kings of graffiti here.
Yeah.
Give
a shout out to Akil, man.
Akil, my dream son. Full ride, full scholarship. What was that? Hawaiian college? Yeah. Wow, man. Yeah, man.
Dream and Nikki is really happy.
Yeah.
Shoot. I mean, look. I want to give a shout out to Lanky Tricks, which is Lanky Tricks. That's politics in them.
That's what like. Was Justin
Yeah.
Torres managing Lanky Tricks?
No, there was their neighbors.
Okay.
Justin Torres had the house in Excelsior, and in politics lived on the other side, and we would practice in Justin Torres' backyard, and in politics had the adjacent backyard. Tall Justin. Shout out to Justin Torres, who was our
road
manager.
rage Justin.
Our manager back in, was it 92, 90, it was 93. No, 92, because I was still, I was only a sophomore. Yeah. So, we just basically had a lot of goofy ass names. You know what I mean?
I was gonna show that.
But we'll check it out. We're almost done basically. But there's something I was gonna say. I kept. It was about the names and it was about the fashion, but But again, like I was saying like. I want he has 63 crews from what 90.
Those are just the ones that we know.
Yeah, 92 to let's just say 92.
No. Those are the early 90s.
So 91.
This is 90 to 93.
Jugheads,
Oddballs. So 91, 93. I dare you. I'm gonna say it on this show right now. All right, y'all. Pull out if you're in New York, 1991 to 93, Florida, Texas, Northwest Seattle, like. All those places, LA. Let me know how many crews we're representing. I want to do my research because everyone said they were doing it, but Lil Caesar said it himself. He came out to the Bay in 1992 and said,
"With me."
Yeah, there you go, and was like, you know what?
Lil Caesar's crazy.
Yeah. He was like, I danced in front of 1,000 Filipino people, and that's why I wanted to bring back Radiotron. If it wasn't for Radiotron, there would be no.
Caesar was Filipino too.
Yo, like Cujo just broke down. He looked like a Hesher. That's some LA lingo, like some rocker. Hesher in LA was like they call them Heshers. And Caesar had the peace pants with the long hair. You know what I mean?
Caesar told me he was from that neighborhood where this gang called the Crazies were from. Yeah, that's some old school shit.
There you go. See,
he remembered.
But he would come up here just like Legs would come here because we had the scene going on. There's only one place where there was like
Oh shit!
1,000 like Filipino girls that would like you to headspin. While if you're in LA, maybe it would only be 50. You know what I mean?
How do we forget Bozak?
Oh yeah.
Yo, shout out to Roy, man.
Fitzroy.
Menace. Yo.
What up, though? Okay,
Bozak and Oddballs, fool. That's 65 crews.
Oddballs. These ones are the only ones we remember. You know what I mean? We're not even talking about the suburbs.
65 is a lot to remember.
Yeah, no, but 65 is still like that's more than like that's more than crews.
Mario Brothers are on there
in a city.
Mario Brothers, that was Johnny Boy. Johnny Boy's Vince.
No,
Blue
yeah.
Boy, I have Dangerous Neighbors.
Yeah, he does.
That was Blue Boy was before. That's how we met Blue Boy.
Yeah.
Gotcha, of course. Those are the ones we all remember easy.
So, obviously, like Mikey said earlier before, this is take 2 anyway.
So we missed
Zero
stuff.
Zero, oh, yeah, that's on
there. I thought we was going to talk about hip-hop as a whole, not just dance bullshit.
But I mean, no.
If you would have heard,
but let's...
We got down, man.
But here's the thing now, like, without spoiling anything, what's up next for the Knuckle Neck Tribe? And don't spoil anything.
Okay.
Because we spoiled something.
Maybe
that's why I didn't
tell
happen.
him. I'm not spoiling nothing. So, you want? I can answer. Okay, so one of the things that as I was mentioning earlier, that in the early '90s, hip hop events, encompassed all the elements of hip hop. You know what I mean? And I didn't get into hip hop. I didn't get into dance because I wanted to be a dancer. You know what I mean? I got into it because I couldn't rap and I couldn't DJ. So it was I just wanted to be part of the hip hop. You know what I mean? And that's why a lot of us started as hip hop heads first. Right. You know what I mean? So the thing is now a lot of the elements are separated. Like the DJs, like the battle DJs are in one place. The MCs are in another place. Whereas like in the early '90s, we were all peers, and we were all at the same thing. Same events, and that's how they kind of put together the whole West Coast Rocksteady movement. You know what I mean? Like, dude, I mean, like, the homies, my homies, Soul Submission. The first time we really heard them was at a dance battle, right?
Yeah.
Or that was dance event. You know what I mean? Like,
Soul Submission.
Oh yeah.
Damn, Capital Tax, the Coup performed.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And there's a lot of dope MCs that have come out of the Bay that were originally dancers, and because everyone tried everything. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, Knuckle Neck, like. The crew is where we're not trying to be like this, big breaking crew or whatever. You know what I mean? It's just more just like, we just want to just be hip hop. We're a hip hop collective. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then, that's what's kind of missing in this generation is, because there's a lot of b-boys out there, and I'm not complaining. That's just the way they were raised. It's just, that aren't really even into hip hop. You know what I mean? They break and they're amazing, but they're not. They lack that. That connection to hip hop or hip hop the culture. Yeah. You know what I mean? So so that's kind of like the next move is more bringing back collaborations. I
think that puts a lot of weight on our shoulders.
Oh yes,
because
bring back collaborations with folks that we used to work with. Yeah. That that we've kind of grown apart and trying to bring that back, like where everything's involved. You know what I mean? Like
back in those times during the golden era, like. I gotta give a lot of props to Legs and Zulu Graham and Wiggs and people like Bam, because they educated the youth because B-boying was getting mad disrespected. You know what I mean? You had De La Soul talking about take it off.
Right. Yeah.
Take those shell toes off. Yo, they got at him. They got at him on that too, and then everything was corrected. But like people didn't know back then that hip hop was a culture, really. Yeah. This is from my perspective. Right? We were just doing what we were doing and letting it happen organically. Right. You know what I mean? Even writers were capping on the b-boys. Oh, yo, that shit is whack. It's all about doing this now and blah, blah, blah. So it didn't come until then when they started putting the perspective to teach the youth. And that's how all that... It was a melting pot during that time, man. You had the Hyros, we had the DJs coming out. Like, there was so many things going on. It was magical back out here in the Bay. And they had Jam on the Groove, Legs and Fave, and Wiggs was doing that. And then we met up with them in L.A. And that's kind of like how we got together with Uncle Al. And it was just history after that, man.
Yeah. So
we have to drop a shout out to like the other guys in the West Coast Rock City family, like NASA,
Yeah,
NASA,
Steve, Zulu
you know,
Reagan,
Rock Hour
though.
Science,
If you can find Reagan,
the Beat Junkies.
Irie Style, if you know what Reagan is,
You know,
bring him over here.
There you
Show
go.
him where he's
There
at.
you
that was
go.
that Beta LA
He was
connection
raw.
in the early 90s, man.
So
Reagan is a legend.
so basically there's a lot of plans going on behind the scenes, and I guess we're gonna like release it when it's time, because on a
We'll
little
start
bit on
rapping
the
and shit.
it'll be on the hush, trying to unite, you know, like just try to like project more of like the culture out there, not just saying the culture, no, like literally the culture, like the culture, like yeah,
That's
for
what
the
I'm
culture.
saying. It's like that we have weight on our shoulders now
Yeah.
because no one is actually trying to keep that alive as far as educating. the
And we're talking
city.
heavy hitters, not just underground like our cousin Pete from down the street.
And
We're
KMT
talking,
is not only just a dance group. I mean, like behind the scenes, we've been doing music. We've been DJing. You know, we've been
guess
working on
who's
these
coming to
sucker
do
free
the-
T-shirt lines.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
first to start the
Yeah.
T-shirt
I'm
whole
at-
boom, black scale brands.
I'm
you know what I mean?
gonna
Like,
blow up your spot.
we're everywhere,
Beat Gene,
man.
but like,
Production.
you know, a lot of mob music that came from the Bay. Gene was behind a lot of that. Sorry, G.Boogz. Sorry, it's government names. G.Boogz is behind that. You know what I mean? Like a lot of members from the original Knuckle Neck Tribe, like have
Yeah.
are
Picasso.
are doing
Shout out to
are doing a lot of
PK.
things
Yeah,
that
salute.
have done went on to do a lot of things that that kind of help push the entire culture, of street fashion,
Right.
music, and street fashion music, and just in MCing and stuff. It's just it was so I'm not gonna drop too many names, but it was like Knuckle Neck was a hip hop collective. I mean, Gene was sorry, Eugene G.Boogz.
G.Boogz.
I mean,
Bugs
I just found this out like a couple years ago when we went to go to the Thud Rumble to go do the clip with Qbert, because like we're trying to bring everyone back together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We walk into Thud Rumble, and then Yoga Frog goes. It was doing an interview at the time. Yoga Frog is like Yoga Frog is of the Little Scratch
Yeah.
Pickles. He's Qbert's manager.
Yeah.
And G.Boogz walks in, and Yoga Frog goes, "Oh, this is the guy who taught me how to DJ." And I'm like, when the fuck did you ever DJ? You know what I mean?
Second to
Like,
none.
so
Second to none.
G.Boogz is kind of one of those guys who likes to keep his thing
Yeah.
on low, but you
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like,
All right.
so yeah, man.
A lot of things planned. So
We're
yeah.
forming Voltron, you know what I mean? Because there's a lot of greats out here in the Bay, and it's still living real heavy. So we're trying to connect back with cats like Roscoe,
Shout out to
Planet
Roscoe.
Asia, Cali Agents,
A+.
and A+, Pep, you know what I mean?
Doug Infinite.
Doug Infinite,
Shout out to Doug,
Chi-Town's
who
finest,
just texted me right now.
who is
Yeah.
now
Sorry, Doug.
Yeah.
a Frisco.
And
Yeah.
and give a shout out to Marty McFly. It's his birthday.
It was his birthday. Shout out
Marty is me
McFly.
reincarnated.
Yeah, basically Marty is one of those dudes who's just like he's got that Frisco, original Knuckle Neck essence, man. Him and Dopey Fresh,
Yeah.
man. They got
Yeah.
that like
Yeah.
that's
Dopey is actually me. I'm the light-skinned Dopey.
There you
I don't know
go.
what you're talking about.
All right. So before we wrap up, I'm going to do the rundown real quick. So as you know, starting February 17th in Honolulu, Hawaii, we got Shadow Styles. Give a shout out to Lean Ski and
808.
Mason Rose.
808.
Shout out to East and
Remember,
Creek.
Shout out to East.
yes,
DJ
sir.
Creed out there, TNT.
February 17th. February 25th in Maui, Hawaii, a week after, we got Leave It on the Floor by my man Kid Karma, 808 Breakers.
My
What up,
Lahaina crew.
You shouldn't have
There you go.
moved. You should have stayed here, fool. You would have been down.
All right. And that was, again, February 25th. And of course, Radical Force Jam in Singapore, March 17th to the 19th. You already know. So many of all in all, 4-on-4 B-Boy, 3-on-3 All Styles, 7 Smoke All Styles, 1-on-1 7 Smoke B-Boy, and the Beach Jam. Whoever throws
Don't
up
bring
first.
any-
Don't bring a shirt. You won't even
You will
need
get
it.
murdered.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like,
They
all
will-
those clips are just a bunch
they
of
will hang
dudes with no
Dead.
shirts on.
So Hanchai is just drinking. So yeah, I've seen guys
Singapore does
from
not play.
alcohol
Yeah.
poisoning, but yeah,
Yeah.
whatever. That's Hanchai Town. Yeah. March 17th and 19th. March 25th in Manila, Philippines, the Baclaran area, we got Dream Cup Manila. Those kids from the hood, they got a chance to win a trip to Tokyo, Japan, and go kick
That's
it and experience that
Shout
lifestyle.
out to my Barakai fam out there.
There you go. So March 25th in Philippines. Then April 8th in Orlando, Florida, we got Legendary Jam 3, the Red Bull BC1 Last Chance Cypher, happening out there, done by Shaolin Productions.
Last chance.
Yep. Orlando, Florida, April 8th. And of course, May 19th, Rocksteady, Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rock Steady.
Shout out
Yes.
to Legs.
Gotta be there.
Gotta be
Legs, I'm trying
there.
to get the Cazelle spot.
Bahamadia, to live Kwali.
Nice and
Great, nice and
smooth.
smooth.
Great, nice.
You
Yeah.
know,
DJ Flag.
Yo, if he was at the Rocksteady
Shout out to my boy
anniversary in the
Voodoo
park
Ray,
this
who's gonna be
year, they
hosting.
Killed it.
There
Mom
you
Top
go.
family.
You
What
want
up?
those tostones? Check out May 19th, Rocksteady,
It's
Puerto
going to be the
Rico.
40th anniversary this year too.
There you
So
go.
yeah.
All right. Same day in Seattle, Washington, we got the Massive Monkeys Day. May 19th and the 20th, the Friday 19th. They haven't announced it yet, but they're going to have something. And what's confirmed is the footwork battle. One of the best battles in footwork in the nation so far.
He's saying that because he won it.
Yeah, I have a ring. All right.
Get yourself a ring.
and the
Get
last
yourself a-
year's winner
Yeah.
of that was in a wheelchair too.
If you like footwork, put a ring on it.
There you go. August 4th, 5th, 6th. In Herleen, Holland, we got the notorious IBE.
Gonna be high.
See you there, man.
You know I'm looking at you, Tyrone and Mario.
And
What's up,
nobody is going
Tyrone?
to try to get any weed out there at all.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
I say up with hope and down with dope.
Dope. Down with dope. All right. And of
Smoke
course,
that devil's lettuce.
smoking them tweeds. All right. And of course, September 1st to the 3rd, we got the melting pot thrown by the 808 Breakers. Exhibitions with Hijack versus Vicious Vic and Skillroy versus myself, Profo Won. This old guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Skillroy.
Yep, Skillroy, man. Give a shout out. Oh, we're gonna play that freestyle music. This is one was
Son of the original
yo,
Tavern Kill.
DJ Bo and Leansky. Yo, just play electro and early '90s hip hop, and let's just go. Let's just go, man. Let's just go there. You know what I'm saying?
No, just play
Melting
acoustic. Acoustic music.
It's
He's gonna
acoustic
do
ballads.
interpretive breaking.
There you go. All right. Before we wrap it up, Mikey. Okay.
I gotta. If you're plugging stuff.
Yeah, go.
So this week, I'll be for the next couple weeks. I'll be doing my tour in China. I'll be in Shanghai, Jian, Guangzhou, and Beijing. I'll be teaching hip hop history from the Bay. The connection between styles from the Bay, from shredding into 90s hip hop, into and then how I incorporate it into my current style of hip hop. So if you're in those cities, go on my Instagram or my Facebook. The whole tour schedule is going to be on there.
And they can contact you at.
Oh, they can contact me at my phone number?
The trade.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. No, my Instagram.
Yeah.
MikeyDisko, Mikey Disko. I'm not trying to tell you to follow me, but if you do follow me, I'll try to lead you somewhere. So I'm gonna be I usually post up a lot of photos with a lot of hip hop artists and people in the scene that you should know about. That we're working with, or I'll try to post more historic photos. Actually, I'm gonna put up a throwback of us from the '90s. How about that?
There you go.
So,
you heard it here first, guys.
Yeah, so I don't know. I just got to find one there. I look cute. So, China, next couple weeks, China tour, Mikey Disko on Instagram.
All right. And G.Boogz, where can they find you on your social media platforms?
Books Bentley, IG. Bentley Music with a Q.
Really?
Yeah.
I should follow you.
Yeah.
You
And if you want to contact me, you could contact me right here on the new channel, ProfoWon's professional page. That's facebook.com/ProfoWon, capital FLGZ, or on Instagram at PROFO_FLGZ.
One thing I gotta say though,
Oh.
before we sign out, like that new edition biopic, man. You can't have it all you can't. You can't have like the James Brown movie, man. Like you can't have a story in one movie, man. You need like multiple.
We're coming back. We're bringing everyone back.
Barely scratching the surface.
Barely.
You know what I mean, so
barely.
Hopefully we can touch on more of like the music comes from the Bay. Graph that comes from the Bay, the whole DJ scene and how it affected how Sway and King Tech, how their wake up show and all that stuff like kind of brought.
We got to bring A+ in here so he can talk about the Oakland side.
There you go.
That's what's up.
There you go.
You know what I mean?
I was gonna leave that surprise, but surprise.
Yeah, whatever.
All right. So, by the way, we are gonna go live this Saturday. We're gonna try to figure it out with Breakbeat Lou. We're gonna have a late night edition of the Trades with Breakbeat Lou on Saturday. Once I get more information, I'll be posting it up on this page, not my personal page anymore. So if you wanna comment, because everyone's commenting on my personal page right now. Sorry.
Shout out to Paulino Love.
There you go.
Oh, what up, Paulino Love?
Yeah.
Yep.
So if you want to comment, click on Profo Won's professional page. Yo, this has been The Trades, episode 15. Peace. And we out.
If you want to comment on my personal hygiene, reach me at Facebook.